You're waiting to feel confident. I know you are. You are waiting for that feeling to arrive before you make the move, before you start the thing, before you put yourself out there. You are telling yourself that once you feel ready, once you feel sure enough, once the doubt quiets down a little, then you will go. And I need to tell you something that is going to sound simple, but will change the way you operate if you actually let it in. That feeling is never coming first. It doesn't work that way. Confidence is not a prerequisite. It is a result. And every day you spend waiting for it to show up before you act is another day you're waiting for something that is literally only available on the other side of the action you are avoiding. This is the confidence lie that nobody corrects, and it keeps genuinely capable people stuck for years. We watch someone who seems confident on stage, on camera, in a room full of people doing the thing with ease, and we think they felt that way before they started. We think they woke up one day and the confidence was just there. But that is almost never the story. Almost every person who moves through the world with real confidence built it the exact same way. They did the thing terrified. They showed up underprepared and uncertain and did it anyway. And then they survived. And surviving taught them something that thinking never could, that the thing they were afraid of was survivable, that they were more capable than their fear was telling them, and that knowledge, earned through doing, is what confidence actually is. You cannot think your way to that knowledge. You cannot read your way there, plan your way there, or wait your way there. You have to earn it by doing the thing that scares you and coming out the other side. Let me be honest about where this fear comes from, because I think it matters. Most of us had experiences early in life where we tried something and it went badly, and people made that feel like a reflection of who we are. You raised your hand in class and got it wrong, and people laughed. You tried something in public and it failed, and you felt exposed. You showed someone a part of yourself, and they didn't respond the way you needed them to. And somewhere in those moments, your brain made a decision that protecting yourself from that feeling was more important than trying again. So it built a system, a warning system, a voice that pipes up every single time you're about to do something that could go badly. It says, wait, are you sure? What if it goes wrong? What will people think? You should prepare more. You're not ready yet. And you have been listening to that voice and calling it wisdom ever since. It is not wisdom. It is protection dressed up as wisdom. The voice is not lying to you exactly. It is right that things could go wrong. It is right that you might fail. But what it is not telling you, what it never tells you, is what it costs you to keep listening to it. The accumulated cost of every time you did not raise your hand, did not make the move, did not start the thing. That cost is enormous. That cost is showing up right now as the gap between where you are and where you know you can be. Here's what I want you to understand about how confidence actually builds. It builds in layers. The first time you do a scary thing, the confidence you get from it is small. You survived, but it was hard and uncomfortable, and you're not exactly rushing to do it again, but you do it again. And the second time is slightly less terrifying than the first, and the third time, slightly less than the second. And slowly, through repetition, through accumulated evidence that you can handle this, the fear shrinks and the confidence grows. Not because you became a different person, because you have proof now, real evidence that your brain cannot argue with, because you lived it. That is how confidence works. Repetition of hard things builds an evidence base. The evidence base shrinks the fear. The shrinking fear feels like growing confidence, but it starts with doing the thing once, even badly, even terrified, even with zero certainty about how it will go. Think about something you do now without anxiety that used to feel impossible. There is something. Maybe it is driving. Maybe it is a skill at work. Maybe it is a social situation that used to paralyze you that you now move through without thinking. You did not feel confident about that thing before you started doing it. You felt the discomfort, you did it anyway, you survived, you did it again, and at some point you looked up and realized the fear was gone. Confidence arrived. But it arrived after, not before. This is the pattern. This has always been the pattern. And yet every time a new challenge arrives, we forget it completely and go back to waiting to feel ready. I want to talk about what this looks like in real life because I think the abstract version is easy to agree with and then ignore. You have a specific thing you're not doing right now because you don't feel ready or confident enough. You know what it is. Starting the channel, having the conversation, applying for the thing, launching the idea, showing your work to someone. Whatever it is sitting there, and every day you find a reason why not yet. You need to be more prepared. You need to know more. You need to wait until it is better. And I want to ask you something, honestly. How long have you been saying that? How many months or years has that thing been sitting there while you prepared and waited and refined and got ready to get ready? And in that time, has the confidence arrived? Has the readiness shown up? Or are you exactly where you were when you first decided you were not ready yet? Preparation has a point of diminishing returns that most people blow straight past without noticing. There is a version of preparation that is genuinely useful. Learning what you need to learn, building the foundation, doing the work to give yourself a real shot. And then there's the version that is just fear wearing the costume of responsibility, where you have been ready for a while, but the goalpost for ready keeps moving because ready is not really what you are waiting for. You are waiting for the guarantee, the certainty that it will work, the assurance that you will not fail or look stupid or be judged. And that guarantee does not exist. It has never existed for anyone who has ever built anything real. Every single person you admire who is doing something that matters is doing it without a guarantee. They just decided that the risk of trying was smaller than the cost of not trying. That decision is available to you right now. Here is what actually happens when you go before you feel ready. It is almost never as bad as your brain told you it would be. Not because everything goes perfectly. Sometimes it goes badly. But even when it goes badly, the thing your brain was most afraid of, that you cannot handle it, turns out to be wrong. You handle it, you adjust, you learn something real, and you come back with more than you had before. Failure when you are actually in the arena is not the end. It is data. It is tuition. It is the price of an education that cannot be gotten any other way. The only real failure is the one where you never find out because you never went. So here's what I want you to do. Not a system, not a 10-step plan. One thing. Identify the specific thing you have been waiting to feel confident about. The exact thing. Not a vague area of your life. The specific action you have been not taking. And I want you to do one version of that thing today. Not the full version, not the perfect version, a version. The smallest real step that is actually in the direction of the thing. Make the call, post the thing, send the message, show the work, say the words. Do one real version of the thing you have been preparing to do. And when the discomfort comes, and it will come, I want you to recognize it for what it is. Not a sign that you are not ready. A sign that you're doing something that matters. Discomfort and readiness feel almost identical from the inside. The difference is that readiness is a myth, and discomfort is just the feeling of growth. You are not going to feel confident and then do the thing. You are going to do the thing and then feel confident. That is the order. It has always been the order. Stop waiting for it to arrive before you move and start understanding that moving is the only thing that was ever going to bring it. The version of you that is confident, capable, assured in who they are. They are not waiting on the other side of some perfect moment. They are waiting on the other side of the next thing you are afraid to do. Go do it. And I want to say one final thing about the people who are watching you, because I know this is part of it. The fear is not just about failing privately. It is about failing in front of people, being judged. The ones who are actually building something in their own lives do not have time or energy to judge yours. Judgment is the hobby of the idle. The people whose opinions you fear are people whose lives you would not trade for yours. Why are you shrinking your life to avoid the commentary of people who are not even in the arena? You get one life, one run at this. The scoreboard that matters is whether you actually attempted, whether you showed up, whether you went for the thing that mattered to you even when it was uncertain. Stop managing your image and start building your life. The confidence will come. It always comes. But only to the people who were brave enough to move first. Be that person, starting today.